this mic up. Okay, that should be okay, hopefully. There you go. Okay, so today we're going to be modifying this controller here. Either this or another carbon black controller. I can't 100% remember if this one fully works or if it has issues. This one is quite scuffed, so I might pick one with nicer bumpers. I do have replacement bumpers and stuff here though, so we'll have to figure that one out. Oh, 1 minute, I'm taking a, gotta take a phone call. Okay, sorry about that, I'm back now. Okay, so I can't even remember where I was now, but yeah, I want to modify this controller possibly with this transparent case. We've got an assortment of buttons, some in here, some sticks, and a pack in here. So I think they're the same, but I'm gonna double check. But I'm not 100% sure if I want to use this controller because I'm not sure if you can see some of the scuffs on the bumper. It might not show up too well on camera. I could probably zoom in. I think that. Oh, hi JFix, what's going on? You okay? There you go. That bit like damage is showing up there, and a bit on there, and there's like a scratch there. So I don't know if I want to use that, if I want to spend all the time putting all these onto this one, so I might just go and grab another black one I have and use that instead. Hopefully that focus is still okay. Let's have a look. Hopefully that's okay. Having to do manual focus is a real pain, but I'll suffer for now. Let me grab another black controller. Maybe I should use this one. I'm not too sure how I want to use this one. Or if I just use, I think I've got a kit here somewhere with black bumpers. So maybe we could use that if I can remember where it is. I swear I had there not long ago. Nope. I swear I had one yesterday, but I can't seem to figure out what I've done with it. I guarantee as soon as I take this apart and start using the other one, oh wait, is it right in front of me hanging off the desk? I've got it. So we do actually have like triggers, bumpers, sync bar cover. So maybe we just replace all of that. I'm gonna plug this in first, I think, and see, make sure. I'm pretty sure I replaced the 6 on it. Because it'd be much wiser to discard this, which has got, see, like the marks, compared to this one, which is in much better condition. So I think it'd be more sensible to try to put this case onto the one that's a bit scuffed, and maybe use these, and then these, and all of these. This one does have like a little bit of a grease mark that I couldn't get rid of. The plastic's a bit shiny there, but that's, I think, the only flaw on this one. Oh, and a little flat spot there. So I will actually put this one back, I think. And we will do this one. Oh, okay, it's doing that viewfinder thing again. Hopefully it doesn't keep doing that. That's really annoying. I need to try and figure that out. Nobody wants to see that popping up on the screen. So we'll put them up there. We'll plug in this controller. And we will switch to the controller tester. Just to make sure everything is working. Okay, yeah, they seem fine. Oh, that's only going to, it's not quite going to 1. Okay, that right 6. Oh. They're not quite perfect, but I think they should be good enough. They might just need like recalibration. We'll have a look when we open it up now anyway. Let's just back down to the top down. Oh, nice. Squish. Hello, Squish. And Michael. Welcome, everybody. It's nice to see some familiar faces. So we will unplug this one. There's a little bit of dust on this, I think. We'll put this to the side for a second. And we'll quickly open this up so we can get the PCB and everything out. Hopefully I don't rip my gloves opening this. I tend to rip them quite a lot. Nope, fine. Nice. Even though I don't like fully need gloves wearing this controller because this one's already been like cleaned and restored. It's just the case is a bit scuffed. Oh, thank you, Michael. Yeah, it is a nice looking case. It's not as nice as the orange case, but like sadly I'd already done the orange case. I did record that. I've just yet to edit it into a full video. So I will at some point upload that. It's like a video, wasn't a live stream. The video quality might be better as well because it's recording in high quality. Gloves, I've only really used like 2 brands. I can't remember the other brand I used, but these ones like, they're okay. They ain't like tearing. I'm giving them a good tag. I'll go and grab the box and show you what brand they are. I think I got them off Amazon probably. Let's have a quick look. They're in the cupboard here. You can't get much like better quality, like thicker, more resilient ones. But these are not like super flimsy and thin, but the higher quality ones are like stupidly expensive, like 20 to 30 pounds a box. These were, I can't remember how much, but nowhere near that because I would not pay that much for a box of gloves. Black Pearl, nitrile, powder free. I think this is the brand, Uni-Gloves. I don't know if that 1.5 means anything or not. I don't know if that helps at all. And that's a size chart on here. So I think they might have different ones. Is it 8 medium apparently? They do go up to like an extra large if any of you got like really big hands. And then there's a load of text on the back. But they're pretty handy, especially when you're like buying random stuff on eBay from people who have God knows what germs or have done God knows what, especially with controllers. I've seen what some gamers do with their controllers. Definitely wearing gloves. I'm washing that thing. I think like 50% of controllers, or maybe you always find like a stray pube. Where are my tweezers? Extra large for you, Squish. Nice. A big boy. I'm forever losing. Oh, never mind. They're right there. The screw doesn't want to come out. There you go. You want to touch my controllers? Okay. It's fine. I have gloves. I'm sure I'll survive. Even though once or twice I have like got like flu or cold, like you know, later on in the day / next day after receiving some eBay package. So I swear people are like sneezing on their parcels and stuff. Definitely want to spray them down with some isopropyl alcohol. Only one result for Uni-Gloves. Oh, only one result for Uni-Gloves on my Amazon. Oh, okay, Michael. Oh, okay, $29.99. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't pay that. That's like really expensive. I don't think I would have paid more than like a tenner. I feel like maybe like £5, but I feel I might have gone up to like 8 or 10 maybe. But I definitely would not have paid $29.99 unless they've gone up to a ridiculous amount since I bought them. because like I'm tight. I don't like spending like massive amounts of money, especially if I'm like testing something out. Oh, whoa, what's going on, Rusty Russ? I only wear gloves when I find bugs. I disgust myself. Yeah. Luckily, I've never come across any bugs. Thank God. Oh, okay. Yeah, I did do the sticks in this. These are the older gin fills. Yo, what's going on, Sloss? How's everybody doing tonight? Okay, so we're going to be keeping the mid frame, the board. So we just need to swap this top out, I guess, then. You can get me pink in the UK. So yes, please, somebody send Andy some pink gloves. I would love to see Andy on stream with some pink gloves. If you can't get them, I'm sure we can send him to like some marigold, like dishwashing gloves. I think they come in pink. Where did I put my screwdriver? There. I need to remove all of this first, don't I? Mandy. Yeah, that'd be his new name. Okay, let me take this middle bit off first. Muddling myself up there. You probably wouldn't wear them. Someone. Hi, someone. Welcome. Yeah, there's got to be a way we can get Andy to wear the pink gloves, though. That would be an entertaining stream. So we've got them off now. Let's put them somewhere where I'm not going to get confused and put them back on. So I need to change the bit first, don't I? It's nice to see so many people. Okay, yeah, this is what I'm taking off, isn't it? Multitasking is definitely not my strong point. I feel like if we just ask Andy, he'll do it. Hopefully. That would be good to see. Did they come in any other colours apart from pink and black, maybe? Did they do like, I don't know, like some crazy, like bright yellow ones or something, just like blind people on the stream? Okay, we've just started watching Rusty Russ Prepares. Nice, good. So you should be. Do I have a sync button? Or am I going to be using the black sync button? Sync is going to be the black sync button, I think, by the look of it. So I just need to grab the new covers here. Oh, covers, the triggers. Hopefully everything's in focus still. It looks slightly out of focus. Let me just see if I can adjust that a bit. Yeah, blue, black, and the transparent case. There is like one LED, obviously the power on LED, but I think it would be cool to have some more LEDs in it because I've got I don't know where I've put that other board now, but I did have a PowerA board somewhere, and that's got like some carb LEDs like on the circuit board, and there is 5-volt lines on there. You can just technically solder off some of the test points. So I thought it maybe like glue some LEDs on, but I don't know if that'd be janky. So I'm just going to do this for now, and maybe in time, if I still have the controller, maybe look at putting some LEDs, but maybe put them somewhere like where they're a bit more discreet, maybe hide them in between the two PCBs. So you can't directly see the LEDs through here, but you still get a glow. I'm not too sure. That's just like an idea I had, but I'd like to do it without it looking janky, especially because like you're going to be able to see it. Because like transparent and LED, I think might be a cool combination. Okay, so let's put these on. Which one do I have? Right trigger. So is that this side? Yes, it is. No, it's not. Okay. Getting my lefts and rights confused. That's not good. Just make sure that's going on there. Because once I pushed a little too hard, and there's like little plastic, I don't know if you're going to call them prongs or what they are, that go into like the holes there next to the screw. And I bent them, and the trigger there was like a bit janky after that. So I want to make sure that these are... I wasn't quite paying attention, so I don't know if they're in there. I'm just going to quickly try again and watch just to make sure. That doesn't look 100% to me. Okay, I don't think that's quite lining up there. Plastic bits look straight. It should just pop straight down. But I seem to be having issues with the back one. No, never mind. This, I think, is on. I don't know if it's just like tolerances, because these are aftermarket ones. Okay. Yeah, it is nice watching somebody who doesn't know what they're quite doing and figuring out. It's more fun in trying to like figure stuff out. I only really know like controller stuff as well, like specifically this controller. I haven't been brave enough to like venture out much yet. Okay, that shouldn't be that way. It should be this way. I would like to venture out into trying some other stuff. See if anybody's got any ideas. I was like eyeing up like I think like a PlayStation 1 Mini or something. Because I also like the cosmetic aspect of stuff as well. So if I'm going to do a repair, I'd like to also do like a visual repair as well. Okay, why does this not want to go on properly? Oh, was it soldered upside down? No, it wouldn't have been soldered upside down, would it? No, it's got to go around this way. Someone else. Someone else. Okay, see if this wants to go on this time. Okay, this wants to move around too much. Don't normally have this much difficulty doing this. This one looks damaged. I just noticed it's got a lot of like white stress markings on the part there, but it's like brand new. It's just come out of the packet. I guess that's like after ordering stuff on AliExpress. Okay, is this gonna go on? Okay. These don't seem to go on as well as the original ones. The original ones go on nice and easy. These ones, yeah, that was ridiculous. And I guess they've never been threaded either. So I'm going to have to try and get this screw quite straight. Can we get the screw to go in? Okay, there you go. Hopefully that's okay and we don't have any issues. But we will find out, I guess, once we assemble it. If the triggers are all like janky. If they are, I'll take it apart and have a look. Just because they didn't quite feel like they normally do going on. I just don't know if that's because they're a aftermarket part. Seem to be pulled down on both sides though. So that's always a good sign. So we need the next piece, which is this. I always like to put this on the back first, over the USB port, and then push down onto the front. Okay, so this one seems like it's got a slightly different shape from the original. It just looks more boxy and square, I think. I don't know if that's showing up on the camera. Might just be maybe it's got a bit of a harder edge on it. Oh, done that in the wrong order, didn't I? Oops. That's probably another smart thing to do, is there? Would help if I put this on first, wouldn't it? Okay, so that's on there. Now I can put this on. This way around. Okay, now that sounded a bit better when I clicked on. Makes sense, it wasn't on right the first time. So we've got all of that replaced. Yeah, that's why I kind of like doing the same thing, because Squish it, they've rolled the controller. Like that's why I kind of like doing the same thing, because you kind of get a feel for things, how things should be. I see like a lot of people are doing like switches, but I don't know. I don't really know like anything about switches or anything to know if I'd be able to try that. Trying to just dial in the focus. I don't know if that's better. Well, I have, but they were for Switch, not like TV consoles. Ah, okay. Is that like the Switch Joy-Cons? Oh, I just realized I've done that, and I wanted to swap over the buttons rather than just, it would look nice like this and it looks fine. But I think these buttons and stuff might look better. Let's grab one and have a look. Yeah, the Joy-Con things. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was tempted to try some of them. They take like a completely different type of like stick module, don't they? From like this kind, like is it like a flat one? So we'll pop this through here and have a look. Oh yeah, I think that's nicer. But the only problem is they're all going to be the same color then, so you're not going to have like a yellow. So I don't know. It is nice having different colored buttons, Whereas all of these are like the blue text. Yeah, they look better. Okay, we will go for these ones then. I guess it could be a nice, like, sleek. So I'm going to have to take the circuit board out to do that. Yeah, it shouldn't be blue. Yeah, that is confusing. B is blue too. So let's just hope if I do like ever sell this on or anything, that then somebody's not playing with somebody on like VR headset and they're like confused, like, oh, what button do you press? Oh yeah, press the red button, and they just like, it don't have a red button. Yeah, I don't really look at the colors too when I'm playing, just because like I know where the buttons are on the controller. It's only 4 of them. And in games you do get like obviously the prompts are most of the time are colored, but they also do say like the letter. Yeah, press the red button. I can't find the red button. But yeah, that is a bit confusing. But yeah, I think I will give it a go. If I don't like it, I guess I can always change it back. It's not really too difficult to change like the buttons. Yeah, there's that viewfinder inactive thing again. I need to figure out how to like have that stop. I don't know, maybe if I close the screen on the top of the camera, if that will help at all. I've just closed that, maybe that'll stop it. I don't know though. I'm trying to press the key in key if I can't find it. Yeah, I can never seem to find the any key either. It's a mischievous one that it likes to hide. So let's quickly. I was going to say, do we need these? We don't even need them anymore, do we? Do we need a battery cover? No, we don't. So that's good too. So it's got the grip covers, the battery cover, and it wasn't even that expensive. I can't remember how much it was, but I think it was under £5 though, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Squish. I've not seen any keyboard that has an any key. Somebody needs to make one. I was having it. I don't have it 3D printed. That's the only thing kind of like stop me from doing this. But making one of them Stream Decks, because I've seen like a couple of DIY projects online, because they're just like hotkeys for a like keyboard. So you can buy some of like the MX switches and then print like 3D print like a little like enclosure, and you can pick up like little screens and stuff on like AliExpress. But I don't have a 3D printer, sadly. But that might be a project for the future if I ever get one. I have a red keyboard button that says panic on it. Valentine G passed away a while ago. Okay, that's pretty crazy. Car key, house key, they all work. Okay, so we're gonna have to remove the antenna cables. Oh, these are the ones I remember, this controller. Whoever had this controller before me, I think they'd done like a repair on it, thumbstick repair or something. I think I had to fix all that. But yeah, I put new ones on, so obviously I have. But they didn't put the cables back in these little grooves. Don't know if you can see them grooves in the PCB here. The cutouts, like they're there for a reason. Because if you look at the back of the controller and you look at the shape of that cutout in the top board, that's where the battery goes. Okay, that viewfinder thing has come up again. That's not good. Go away, viewfinder thing. So yeah, you can jam and damage the cable, and these were damaged badly on the inside. I will show you under the microscope. The cable wasn't damaged all the way through, but you could see the copper, and obviously there's a ground plane running all the way around here, which would just short the antenna to ground. If it ever came in contact with it, because it runs right around, not this trace, it has a gap, but this trace here, or this cutout, has this ground here. I'll show you the repair job. Oh, Ace is here. Hi, Ace. How are you doing? Everybody's popping in to say hello tonight. It's much appreciated, by the way. So we'll switch the microscope here. And try to get it in focus. I'll flip the board this way around, so I'm going to bend these cables up as much. And I will grab a tweezer so my big hands don't get in the way and block the view. But yeah, as you can see, that cable is hanging off a dear life there, basically. And so is this one here. Oh. Yeah, I don't know if you can be able to see that. I should probably just flip that up a bit. Yeah, that one was damaged too. And that's why you've always got to make sure to use these cutouts. Just push them in there and just push down the little gaps in the board. Like they're all there for a reason. So, but yeah, luckily it all works fine. I put some solder mask over there, and I think they'll probably continue to work fine as long as you don't like tag on them or do any anybody does any crazy things to them. But yeah, it's not super good. So let's switch back to the overhead camera quickly and finish getting this PCB out of here. But we are going to have to be careful when we're working with this controller, and bear in mind that I don't want to do any sharp, fast sudden movements on these cables. I don't know if you can replace this cable. I don't know, because it's like RF. I'm not too sure if it'd affect any of the resistance or if it stopped working. I'm not too sure, because this one here especially goes to this area, and I think that's like the RF antenna or something. Oh, hi Grass Puddle, welcome. Hi. So let's undo these screws here. Have I got the right size bit? Yes, I do. Couldn't quite remember then, but I forgot I changed the bit already to do the what they call the triggers. Trying to remember the name of things when I'm doing things. It's difficult. Okay, so let's pop this out. How I normally do is I just put my fingers here and just push. You could potentially push there and there and push it up, but that's the way I find it easiest. Just to pop the board out and then make sure these cables are out of the way before I lift that board out. But yeah, that cable it's just like, kill me now, end my suffering. Hopefully it continues working. I will double check it, because this computer does have Bluetooth. So once I've swapped it all over, I'll plug in and just make sure that the Bluetooth is definitely working. I'm pretty sure I've tested it previously, but I can't remember, to be honest. Let's quickly get the rest of these screws out of here. The one thing I do like about this is there's only, I remember to put that back in as well, the headphone port. at first glance, the multi-board design seems intimidating. Oh, I don't know. I find this one really, like, I guess it is a little, there is 3 boards to worry about. So you've got this bottom board here. That's for like your buttons. And then this is like the analog board, top board, you know, the one with the thumbsticks. And then there's another board on top. People refer to that one as like the SoC, I think. And then that just connects everything on the controller just through to this chip here. But like, it's pretty simple because there's literally one main like jumper here and here. You do have some other jumpers, but I don't know if they're just for like grounding and stuff. I never really like worry about them. But you've got this, and they just slot together. And then like when you look at the PlayStation, I've never done a PlayStation controller, but I've seen people open them up and some are like other third-party controllers. And there's like ribbon cables everywhere and all this crazy stuff. I'm just like, oh my God, that just seems like something I'm gonna break. Whereas this, I'm really gonna worry about much. It's just the one connector. It just seems like a really good design to me, or very good design for somebody like me who's like learning and getting started. Not too sure if anybody's familiar with this particular circuit board. I'll show you on the microscope. But like, I've seen some boards where people are working on. Let me adjust. Like the silk screen on here, like everything is like just like marked out really well. I know you have like capacitors and such marked out on like a lot of the boards, but they've got all the test points labeled on here. So yeah, there's obviously, if it wasn't for communities online like Acid Mods, where you can find like what all of these do, schematics and all that kind of stuff, these wouldn't really be much use. But combining them 2 bits of information makes doing repairs and like diagnostics on this super easy, just because it's like there's a ridiculous amount of test points like on this board. Yeah, and it does make it easier to troubleshoot as well, as Grass Puddle said. Like when you've got like the separate boards, apart from obviously if you're trying to distinguish between this one and this one. I do have a board that I haven't been able to fix so far that does have an issue. It's between, well, it's on this. Whenever I plug in J1, I have a short and the controller doesn't power up. And then J1, I think it's J1. So J1 or J2. No, it's J2, sorry. And that goes off to like 2 separates down here. So I went to like 2 or 3 traces. But I don't know if it's an issue with the chip. I don't have an RDA again to like reflow it. I've checked like all capacitors and the Xeno diodes and stuff between there and the chip. Everything seems to be reading fine as far as I can tell, comparing them to like other controllers I have. Just gonna grab a quick drink a second. But yeah, sorry, going back to what Grass Puddle said. It is quite handy when you've got like the separate boards, because the one which has the issue I was just mentioning, when I plug in J1 or J2 to like the antenna, the controller won't power on. I managed to narrow down and figure where that issue was, because I tried, like, I don't have a thermal cam, but I couldn't feel anything getting warm. I tried the isopropyl thing, you know, seeing how fast it evaporates. I couldn't narrow anything down, but by swapping out this board from another one and vice versa on another controller, I was able to narrow down that it was this board that was the issue, and then from there I managed to narrow down it was the connector when I was plugging into there. So yeah, multi-board design can be handy, but I have seen people doing repairs on, is it the Xbox, one of the Xboxes, and that's got like a ridiculous multi-layer design, multi-PCB layer design, not layer, like separate PCBs that all interconnect. We're like, are they called jumpers? And that seems like really tedious then to repair. I think this one's like a nice balance. It's just 2 boards. Have I taken all of these screws out? No, I haven't. There's still one left. I guess I need to remove this again. So we've got this off now. We can take this board out finally. And take these buttons out. And hope they don't scatter everywhere. No, we got them out nicely. And we'll put these to the one side. Just have like a graveyard of controller parts next to me now. So I'm just going to quickly compare this button and these buttons just to see if they are the same or if there's any visual difference. Because in the AliExpress listing, one lock looked blue and transparent or something, or blue and grey. And then the other ones were black and blue. But this is what turned up. So who knows? Let's not get these mixed up either. Let's put this one on the right hand side. And then just get a white from the other packet. And have a quick look. Oh, actually, there is a visual difference. I don't know if it's showing up on camera. I'll try to put the microscope over there. These ones are actually, I won't quite go as far as grey, but they're a little bit off black compared to the ones next to them, if I can get a microscope over these. So that's this one. And that's that one. Don't know if you can see the colour difference there. So I think we'll go for these ones, the black ones. So I guess technically they are grey, but if you like to just look at them on their own, I know they look more grey under the microscope. I would have sworn they were black. So we'll go for these ones and put this one back so I don't get mixed up. 1 second, this goes in this packet, the white packet. I'm just going to quickly do this before I mix them up. There you go, that's that sorted. Let's switch back the camera. Yeah, black and grey and silver and grey. Yeah, black and grey and silver and grey. But they look really dark. They look more grey into the microscope there, I think, than they do when I look at them normally. Okay, it is a bit disorientating fitting these without the colours. I'm used to looking at the colour and putting the colour. I guess the human brain does work with colours faster than they do like letters and symbols. This one's not hard to tell though. Chunky boy, that one is. I know where that one goes. And I know this is going to be A. I know that goes on the bottom. That's the jump button. I know that one. Does it want to go in? Yeah, okay, there you go. And X. There you go. So this, will this go in? There you go, that's in. We have blue buttons for this as well. I can never remember the names for all of these. I don't play much games anymore, but when I used to, I would still call these. I'd be like, oh yeah, press the pause button, press the select button. Like, I don't think that's pause or select, I'm going to be honest. I know where this one goes. Let's do this one first. Okay, one's got 3 and one's got 2, so let's do that. That's also another thing I really do like about the manufacturing of this controller. I don't think it's done for like repairability and modding purposes. I'm assuming it's just so they can be more efficient on the assembly line and stuff, and like means they can make less mistakes and stuff like that. So they've got a lower rejection rate. The buttons will only fit into certain slots and they'll only fit in the correct orientation. So that's really handy. You can see these were injection molded. You can see a little white thing where they were like snapped off. Okay, is this gonna fit? That fits. Okay, we haven't got a Xbox button, so we're gonna have to use the original Xbox button, which is fine because that's a nice black color, so we'll pop that one in there. That's all the buttons, I think. So we'll put this back on. I always forget the name of what this thing is actually called. Now we can start actually assembling the PCB. Is that PCB down all the way? Can't quite tell. I think it is. What we'll do is put one screw in and then flip it over and have a look, rather than like risking it trying to flip it over. That's ended badly too many times for me. Also, after tomorrow, I should have another light. So I should then be able to put my camera on a narrow aperture. And I think that'll give me like a better depth of field. So when I move it around, things won't go out of focus as much. I'll still have manual focus, but I think a larger area will be in focus. Because I don't know. I would just call it a rubber membrane. Yeah. I think that might actually be what it's called, to be honest. Let's have a look. Yeah, they're all in fine. That one feels a little bit squishy, but that's because there's nothing behind it currently. So let's get these screws back in. Oh. I just deployed my third Lightbox, fourth one maybe coming soon. Ooh. Nice. I've got like a really, really good, I say really, really good. It's not quite as good as the like parent company light, but it's a good one. I've used it like once or twice, but I don't use it for streaming, mainly because I haven't got a softbox for it. And I don't want to be forking out like a lot of money for the softbox I'd need for that. It is I can't remember what model it is, but it's Amaran by Aperture. I think it's Amaran, the brand. I bought it a few years ago, like maybe 2 years ago or something, maybe. I've only used it a couple of times, but yeah, it's really bright. It's like the sun when you shine it at you. You can feel the heat coming off it from like the other end of the room. Yeah, you can never have too much light. The only problem with light, though, if it's not diffused light, it is just awful. Like at the moment, I'm using like a CFL bulb in a softbox. Like, it's okay, it's not the best, definitely not energy efficient, but it's got decent CRI. I think that's color rendering index it stands for, I think. It's basically like if you're filming and you've got a light with like high color accuracy, so to speak, things look moderately correct or decent on camera, rather than all like blue or could be yellow or off color. Just like the reflections of the colors look correct. Is that all of them? No, we're missing a screw there, I think. Yes, this one here. I must have put that one somewhere else from the others. We've got spare screws anyway, if we do ever lose any. Good thing about, like, obviously it's like a Torque, but it's a fairly standardized M screw. So you can just pick these up online fairly anyway. I got these from AliExpress. I assume you probably can for like most of the consoles and other repair jobs. I don't know. There might be manufacturers out there who make their own kind of screw or something. I think I heard something about like car manufacturers trying to do that. Might have been BMW or something. Some kind of screw just to stop people being able to like repair cars at all. Be like, no mechanics, you are not allowed to touch this car. But I feel like whatever somebody comes up with, somebody's just gonna make a tool for it, because they've got to have a tool for it if they want to ever be able to repair it, unless they just don't plan to ever repair anything themselves. And they're just like, no, sorry, you can only buy a car as a whole unit. I think that's everything. Oh, put this the right way up. This is also quite a neat little design, I think, as well, because this could have so easily been like soldered onto here. And I think when things go in and out of the port, and it was like if it had legs on it, or it was a through hole component or something like that, surely you'd end up getting like a break in the solder or something. Whereas it's just contacts. So I don't know if that's better or worse. To me, it seems like that's probably better. I don't know if there's any downsides to that. I don't know if that's like the reason they done it. But that would maybe be my thoughts. What's your favorite type of screw? I don't know. I don't like really have a favorite type of screw. I don't think I've never really thought too much about it. Like any screw that's like not going to give me a hard time taking it out is my kind of screw. But maybe like a Phillips or something if I had to pick one, mainly because it's the most common one. And if you're in a pinch, you can probably find a Phillips screwdriver somewhere. Yeah, I bought I bought some extra Xbox controller screws on eBay. It's better now, but I always used to lose them. Yeah, I'm losing screws all the time. I think a lot of them are like probably these ones. Need to probably, I know where the black ones are from. They're from a PowerA controller, but I should probably be concerned that there's like 2 random screws there, and then some there. All of these should be for the case, though. I think we might be one short. So top, bottom, left, right, top, bottom on the right, and the middle. No, that's all of them, and then 2 for the top bod. Gold screw, gold export screws are impossible to find in the UK. Oh, damn. You could gold plate them, though. I am potentially going to be doing maybe, I'm not 100% yet. I've got all the stuff here to do it because I wanted to do some watches that I used to repair, is electroplating. And I think I might actually have some gold. Obviously, it's going to be like probably a low carat of gold and a very small amount. But I could maybe, I'd have to repair my electroplating pen though, because I think I like salvaged it, the DC. I think I cut it because it came in like a DC plug, and I was like, ooh, I can use this for something else, for some project. But we could potentially look at like gold plating some screws just to be pimp. A lot say I'm missing a few screws. Don't worry, I've got plenty. You can have some of them. Yeah, I think I've got most of the stuff to do it. So I think if I can do it in plastic containers, I've got plenty of them too. I've got like all the random chemicals and stuff in a drawer, which I can probably show you. Let me plug these antennas in first. I have some in one of the drawers. For like larger stuff, I think it's like probably for like nickel plating and stuff like that. I'd have to find where my, I think they call it anodes. Like if I was to do zinc plating, I'd need like, I think it's called a sacrificial anode. Like sacrificial just because you're transferring the material from that, so you're going to be like damaging it, so to speak. Okay, they're in. Well, actually, let me do this completely first, and then I'll go and grab the stuff. I guess sidetrack too easy. I'll try to focus a bit. But I will hunt out all the electroplating stuff I have all together. The only problem is I don't have a power supply, like a benchtop power supply. And that would generally be the best, because at least that way I can control like the current and stuff. I think, I can't remember, cathode and anode, well, for electrolysis. I don't know about plating, maybe they use an anode. Okay. Yeah, I can't 100% remember the science, but I know you need like a solution depending on what type of like plating you're doing. The solution varies. And then you normally have like either in the solution sometimes, and then just transferring like electricity from the one thing onto the thing you're plating. Yeah, I think I explained that really badly. Yeah, never mind. But yeah, I'll see if I can find the stuff, and I'll see. Oh, I didn't screw that one in. I always do that. But yeah, I'm not the best at explaining stuff. I kind of like get a general premise of it because I was going to do it before. But I will brush up on a little bit of research, find all the bits and pieces because I have a bunch of stuff, and possibly look at doing that. You could mod a controller with all gold plate screws and sell them to a Saudi prince. Yeah, I could. That'd be a good idea. Because you can electroplate plastic and stuff like that is how they make car badges, I'm pretty sure. Like the chrome plated ones and stuff you see. You can either use a copper spray or you can use carbon, because carbon is conductive, so you can get like a carbon spray. You can spray that first on the plastic and then that can then be electroplated then. You can also do that to like 3D prints, but they require pre-work and prep and stuff. Because obviously the electroplating is only going to be as good as the surface. Normally when you do into metal, that metal has been like grinded, sanded, polished, buffed, etc. I'm sure there's some gold-plated controllers or consoles or controllers out there. Yeah, I think I have seen some of them. Isn't there like a gold PlayStation or something out there? I think it's Mr. Who's the Boss or something like that. I haven't watched it in a long time, but he buys like some stuff like that, I think. Like electronics which have like gold and stuff on them. Rusty Russ repairs. Yeah, gold-plated. Gold-plated 360. Yeah, that'd be the only downside unless you're like ridiculously rich about gold plating a console. Like in a couple of years, the console value itself is going to be like quite low. The only value will be in the gold, like the metal, and it's not a massive amount of value, to be honest, in gold plating. It's only a couple of microns thick, depending on how high quality they do. I can't remember what like the standard is for thickness on gold plating. There is like a common standard for like what's considered like a good quality, but you can get away with like a lot thinner. And a lot of these like companies are doing stuff for like, because it's just to be showy. They're not going to be using a good thickness of gold plating. It's going to be thin as they can get away with. 24 karat gold PlayStation PS5 console, $13,146,000. Damn. Yeah, that's quite a lot. Especially because it's not even going to have like that much value in gold. Like if you look online at buying like gold plating solutions and stuff like that, and you can gold plate a good amount of stuff. It's not like super expensive. Out of curiosity, I'm going to quickly look on Google just to see how much a 24 karat gold plating solution. Well, there's one on AliExpress, but I don't really trust that. It's £7.80. There is one on another website. There's 2 ounces, 24 karat plating solution, brush gold, the fastest, more durable, best value. That's on something called Royal Deals, and this is the same one on Amazon. They're £200 for a 2 ounce. I don't know how much that is in milliliters. Let's have a quick look. 2 Oz, 2 milliliters. Okay, it's like 60 milliliters apparently. And that's like £200. You could probably plate a console with that amount. But obviously like the work and labor to making sure you get the plastics perfect and the spraying of the conductive spray and stuff. Labor, but damn. There can be some good profit if somebody's selling that for 13k and people are actually buying it. Yeah, it's tempting to search that stuff. Gold-plated crap, yeah. It's tempted to try that one on AliExpress for like £8. But I think when one's £8 and then one is £200, I think maybe there might be something sus about the one that's £8. I would love to find a C3PO controller for the Xbox 360. Oh, okay. I've never actually like seen one of them. I have seen like they've done loads of like different types of custom controllers. I say custom like official, but like custom. Okay, am I missing something? This doesn't seem to want to go on. Yeah, I don't think that board's in there properly, I'm going to be honest. It's a good time to notice. Maybe I should concentrate more when I'm actually putting things together. So now we've got to mess with them areas even more. Probs brass, not gold. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's probably some kind of like alloy or something like that that's gonna like look like gold. Like all the cheap jewelry you get off like Temu and stuff like that. Probably AliExpress, I assume. I don't know, I've never searched up jewelry on AliExpress. Next stream, jewelry stream. Dude, these sticks are on tight though. I guess that's good because there's no wobble on them then. So you're gonna have to look why this bottom board is not laying flat. Probably missed something when I was putting it together. Because it doesn't seem to be sitting flat over this side over here. We'll just take it out and we'll reseat it and see if that solves the issue. Making mistakes like this, I guess I get practice doing all these screws. Hopefully the threads don't just like get vaporized. I say that one was spinning then. Because this is plastic. There's only so many times you could screw and unscrew. I have some Loctite though, so it's not the end of the world. I think it's blue Loctite, I think that's the one. This, like I say, semi-permanent. But the one you can actually remove fairly easily. I can never remember the difference between the red and the blue one, like which one's which. Okay. And then buttons weren't bulging. I don't think the buttons were bulging before because it did just lift when I put the controller down. Let's just check everything's flat on here. I think that top button is shifted. Let's take this off. Okay. All the buttons look okay. Let's just make sure and pay attention when I'm doing it this time. Yeah, ESP when you get older, get cramp in the hands. Oh, yeah, that's not good. I wouldn't want like cramps in the hands. Get like cramps in my feet sometimes. Luckily I haven't had them in ages, but that is like horrible. My fingers do get like quite stiff because I like click them a lot and stuff. Probably not the best for them. All right, let's just make sure this all sits flat this time. Could have been a cable or something under there. Because I can't 100% remember if I paid attention to where that cable was over this side. Just make sure that's actually... I think that's okay. It looks straight. I can't 100% remember how flat it's meant to sit, to be honest. But there are these black things here. The plastic things that go in the holes, and they are sitting flush. I'm pretty sure that's fine now. I never really pay that much attention to it when I'm putting them together. So we'll see once I screw the screws in. It might have just been I didn't tighten some maybe screws on one side down as tight as the other side. I'm not too sure, but we'll see. I pay attention this time. I don't mind feet cramps, but leg cramps are horrible. I don't know if I've had, maybe once or twice I think I've had leg cramps, so not really enough to like remember well compared to like feet cramps, which I've had like a whole bunch of times. My leg looked up with a cramp on a bike once and I had to jump off. Yeah, I'm not surprised. It's the most like horrible thing if your muscles like cramp up. probably the worst time they could happen as well. When you need like your leg to power the vehicle that you're on. You're propelling. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so yes, this one here. Okay, let's just check if this is flat this time. I think the screw needs to go down a bit more. Yeah, that one's not screwed down either. There you go. And there's this one all the way. So it's always worth double checking your screws, I guess. Okay, yeah, that actually looks flat this time and straight. I think that was probably the issue last time. I'm sorry, like, yeah, that aerial is just looking sad. I don't know if you can see that, just like bent over and hanging on for like dear life. I definitely have to double check that the antennas and the Bluetooth and everything is working once I put this back together. Okay, hopefully this is the last time I have to disturb this board. Would help if I put it the right way up, wouldn't it? No, this is the right way up. Okay, for some reason there, that disorientated me. I thought I was putting it on the wrong way. Okay. Let's move these, slide this in. Move these cables. Never had to be so careful with a cable in my life. Get in there nice and gently. And let's get these plugged in. I knew someone that used to get really super bad cramps once. So many things can happen while you're driving. They'll F you up. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta be super careful. Because it's not only like something happening to you, I guess it could also happen to like somebody else who's driving, and then they could just like crash into you also. I guess if something like happens on a bike, there's probably not going to be, or if there is, very few other cyclists near you, just because most people use cars. So I guess if you have an accident on a bike, you're probably not going to crash into another cyclist, but I guess if you have an accident in a car, you're probably going to hit another car. Okay, I think this is actually all plugged in now, unless I've actually forgotten something again. Which hopefully I haven't. Just make sure these thumbsticks are on. Yeah, I almost forgot something, but I was pushing on the top of the board. These screws, I don't know how many times I've gone to put the thumbsticks on and just pushed the top board off. Does that want to go in? There you go. And then just the other side. Okay, is that in? Don't think that went in straight. Let me try again. Okay, that's better. And is that? No, that's, there you go. Yeah, I was on a trail. I was with my bro, but it was quite a way ahead. I jumped up and rolled around in a bush. Oh God. I guess at least, hopefully the bush softened your landing. But I bet your brother was just like looking back like, what is he doing? Like, why is he rolling around in the bush? Or maybe he just carried on. He was just like, no, I don't know him. I'm not with him. I'm not with the mad bushman. Is this actually... Something doesn't feel right here. It could be that this top screw is not down properly. But is it just that? I don't know, this is confusing me now. all these buttons in properly. I don't think this top button is in properly. I don't think this, no, this board is not in properly still. I don't understand how. Let me just check another board just to be sure. I don't think so, because I took it out to like, it wasn't, like it was perfectly fine when I took it out to like another controller, so I don't know. Yeah, that's definitely not sitting in the board. If we look at this one, the only bit of the board you can see is between this groove here. And then we look at this one, you can see the entire board. So yeah, I guess it's not in all the way, which is a little confusing. God damn it. These areas are determined to break. I think that's why. I think the controller's just trolling with me until these areas break. Like they're already hanging off at dear life. It's just a matter of time if I keep taking this board out that they are going to break, and I'm going to have another repair on my hands. So much for like a nice quick easy job, which is quite funny. When I done the orange controller, I didn't have any issues at all. Everything went nice and smooth. And then this one, not so much. But I guess I wasn't like multitasking and chatting away. So maybe that's my fault. I should probably concentrate a little better when I'm doing things. But I didn't swap any of the buttons or anything on the other controller. I stuck with the original buttons. So I don't know if it is the buttons. Maybe. I'm trying to pass the blame on. Oh, there's a screw there. 2 screws there. But I don't know if it is the buttons or if I've just done something absolutely stupid by just not paying attention and missed something obvious. It's most likely that I've missed something obvious. But we will see. Also, if you ever lose any screws, they'll have hiding there. The magnet into the trigger, just drop on there right now. I've had one like this before and I've been like looking everywhere and it's just standing there. So yeah, always check that if you're ever missing a screw doing the controllers. I don't know if like other controllers are the same using the magnet and the Hall effect sensor. The Hall effect sensor is that thing there. And it just detects a difference in the magnetic field from the triggers to detect how far down you've actually pressed the trigger. Let's have a look, see if we can actually get this to sit in there. See, it seems fine on this left side. Good shout, screw in the magnet area. Yeah, I spent like 10 minutes, I think, once looking for a screw. I was like, oh, did I drop on the floor? Did I drop on the workbench? This was before there was like screws everywhere, so it was like much cleaner. It was like one of the first times I was using this mat. So there was like no random screws on here. So I was like, well, it's definitely not on here because I'd be able to see it. Now, though, is another thing. I'd be like, is it this one? Is it this one? This? I probably should. Well, most of these ones will all go back in the controller. And I'll just figure out what these stray ones go to. And the black ones, might keep them there until I get a heat gun. Because I might still want to modify that other controller. But it's a Xbox One controller, I think, or 360, I can't remember. All I know is this soldering tape adapter, doesn't fit. It's slightly off. So I'll have to like find out. I'm assuming the serial number is going to be in the back of the case. I'll just Google and figure out which one it is. Yeah, when I'm trying to put the screw near the trigger and it pops out. Yeah, that's something that stresses me out. When you're doing like the last screw, it's completely all sealed up. And you might be doing like the last screw and it goes boop inside the case and just gets like out of reach of your tweezers. And you have to take the case off again. That's happened to me a couple of times too. It's quite annoying. All right, let's see if we can figure out why this board isn't sitting flat. And what stupid thing I've done to stop it from sitting flat. It's a bit hard to figure out now because I just pushed up from the underside. So I've moved some buttons, so I can't be 100% if they were moved just by my hand now or if they were already out of place. Okay. Everything there looks fine and flat to me. So let's see if we can figure out what's going on here. That seems fine. That seems fine, I think. I'll have to double check this cable routing. Which side is that? Yeah, I think that's okay. Okay, that's a little confusing. Everything's still flat there. Let's put this on and let's check again and see what's going on. Okay, so to me that all looks okay. It's flat. We'll grab the board without moving any of the buttons just to make sure I'm not moving any of the buttons. Get that board in there. It's still a mile away from the board though. Oh, okay. I gave it a wiggle and it popped into place. But I cannot figure out why, because both these plastic things were lined up and so was this before. And I think, as far as I can see, they're the only things that would stop it going into place. But they're sitting much higher than they were before, and it's actually flush now like it should be. So yeah, I have no idea what was going on there. I've never had that happen before. So let's get a screw in here now before anything actually moves or falls out. So that can't go anywhere. I don't know if it makes any difference, but I always start with the middle screw to like try not to like screw it down lopsided. I want to destroy the world trying to seat an RF shield today. Oh God, yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, luckily I haven't tackled anything like fairly new on stream. So I couldn't imagine trying to learn something brand new or figure it out and streaming at the same time. Like I'm struggling to do a basic task which I can do off camera much more competently on stream. Seems to like make things more difficult, I guess. I guess it's just a multitasking and the break in the concentration kind of thing. I guess when you're doing it without like chatting away and stuff, I guess you get more in the zone, so to speak. I just remembered that. Yeah, sounds like something you don't want to remember. So let's get this assembled and hopefully we don't have any more issues. If I have enough time, if I can get this done quickly, I want to quickly open up an old headset just to look at the PCB, because there's a couple of like development boards and other like I think it's DAC boards. Is it DAC or no? It's digital to analog, isn't there, or something? Are they DAC? I can't remember the thing, but it's like the digital to analog converters and some ESPs and stuff. I know you can't get Bluetooth module boards as well. They've got them built in, but I've heard they're lower quality. So I'm just trying to figure out like what kind of stuff to buy. It is ESP if it's something. Let me move the chat because the side of the chat is cut off a bit. It is ESP. Okay, it is ESP if it's something you feel should be easy. Like a small one. Clips, I think around has a raised flange at the end, easy to miss. Am I missing something? Oh, I just grabbed a random screw for no reason. Let's count. It should be 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that screw is for the top board. You can tell, I guess it's not really hard to remember 6 screws, but you can tell when you've taken something apart too many times when you know how many screws are in each board. Off by heart, 6, 2, and I think there's 5 on the shell. Yeah, 2 plus 2 for either side in the middle one. Especially. Okay. I only got confused because I was talking about the ESP32s. I don't know if you know, I think they call microcontrollers, development boards. I'm not too sure what the correct terminology is for them. But I think it's ESP32S3, I think, is meant to be good for audio or something. I've got a couple of tabs open right now with some stuff I was looking and researching earlier. For the headset projects, I've got one really manky headset I'm going to take apart first and just look at, and then I've got 2 of the same headset as that, which are not manky, which I'll do the actual projects on. And if they go well, I've got a Razer Charius, I think it is, headset. That's really comfy. It's got a nice quality cable, but it's long, but it's at the point now where the copper's all tangled, so you're just coiling up and just doing mad stuff on his own, basically. Plus, I'd rather, if I can get it to be wireless, that'd just be much more convenient for me. Who likes wires? Especially when you forget you're plugged into headphones or headset, you get up and almost pull your computer off the desk. It's not the best. Yeah, hopefully there is no issues with this now. Hopefully this sync bar cover actually goes on this time. Let's see. Yeah. And that's also the one good thing about the tight manufacturing tolerances and stuff. If you've done something wrong, it won't go back together, and you'll feel wrong when you have to force things. And when things are right, it just goes on nicely. And it's kind of satisfying. Cause boom. You know it's done right. Where would you put the battery though? I'd have to put the battery inside the earpiece. That's why I want to take this one apart, so I can figure out how much room I've got to work with, because I know the Razer one is a much bigger earpiece, so I've got more room to work with. And I know on the actual proper Bluetooth headsets there is a larger area, normally about this large of an area to work with, plastic dome, probably about that thick. So you can then fit a battery that's probably about that thick on there, and a PCB, and there's spare room. But you'd have to get you can get batteries ranging in size. One I think I seen in my brother's headset, because he told me his battery was broken on his headset, so I took it all apart. It was I think it's a Turtle 600 or something like that. It's a wireless headset. So I took his apart and had a look at the PCB on that one, because he told me the battery wasn't working, so I wanted to figure out what battery it was, order him a new one. I'd assume it just had its lifetime in cycles or something, or just gone bad. So I looked inside of that one, but it turns out he was trying to charge his headset off his Xbox, and his Xbox didn't have power going to it because it wasn't actually plugged in or knocked on. The power switch, no, the Xbox itself, I think they can charge on standby, but the Xbox didn't have power on it, and he was trying to charge it off that and didn't realize. But the battery in his was about that big, probably. This is a double A, I think it's double A. So it was about that big, and it was a 480 milliamp hours or something like that. But I've seen the newer headsets, because I was looking online, they are above 1,000, maybe 1,200 or something. Some of them are. So I'm not too sure what capacity to get, but I think our biggest constraint is going to be the size. How much room we've got to work with will probably determine what battery we have. I'd like to have as large a capacity as possible because it just means I'm going to like charge it all the time. I can use it for longer periods of time. But we can figure all that stuff out. If it'll be viable modification to do or not, I'm not too sure, because I don't know if any of these development boards are actually going to fit in there. Because you've got to fit like potentially 2 development boards and a battery, or one cheap AliExpress like module board and a battery, and also figure out somehow to put like line the USB port up potentially and like cut out the plastic so I can actually charge it, and probably have to reroute some push buttons onto the side so I can actually like sync it or something if I need to have a way to sync it. Volume, I haven't thought about either yet, to be honest, or anything like that. Like 3D printer would be handy because you could print like some kind of like housing or bracket to hold buttons, and you could probably glue that bracket to the case and then wait till the glue set and then maybe insert your buttons. Actually, no, I don't know if you get your buttons in. But obviously you can't just like glue buttons because you probably won't be able to press a button if you get glue inside of the actual button mechanism. So it's a lot to like think about and plan, to be honest, on something like that. But it might be a good fun project. So all I have to do now is just get the motors and everything on. Plenty of these around. Scrap a set. One big motor, one small motor. Hot glue. Yeah, that was my initial thought, to be honest, was just like hot glue everything. Just like loads of hot glue, as much as you can physically fit. It's just like, yeah, that ain't going anywhere now. But if I can find a more elegant solution, that would be preferred. But yeah, if it comes to it and nothing else works, just yeah, hot glue it. Just an unholy amount of hot glue. Okay, so we've got the rumble motors back in and everything. Let's try to get them cables roughly about that angle. And then we just need to solder these back on. Because I think, yeah, I was going to say, oh, I'll put the bottom case on, but I'm probably better off keeping as much of the case away, or any plastic things that could potentially get damaged away while I'm soldering. ESP32C5, I think it's meant to be good for audio, is what you said. Don't know how much power you need there. Okay, I'm not too sure about the C5. I think it was the C3 I was looking at. I'll quickly flick over now and have a look at the tabs I got open. One I found, which I think is going to be way too big and a power drop, is meant to be really good, is Hi-Fi ESP32 Plus. They're like £18 or $24, so that's like really expensive, and I haven't looked at the size, but they're for like hi-fi, so like power is going to be too much, probably the size. An ESP32S3 I was looking at. I think this is for the audio, if I remember correctly. Yeah, this is a audio stereo DAC, PCM 5122. And then I was also looking into potentially, I need to amplify or maybe handle the sound. I'm not too sure if I might fit on and do a custom PCB or something. A DSP audio chip, so a digital signal processing chip I was looking at. And I can see someone like RS, a microchip DS PIC 33A, 16-bit digital signal. So that sounds good, 16-bit, because I know a lot of them are like 8-bit. I don't know, a massive amount of audio. But audio and stuff, so I'd have to maybe like do a little bit more learning. It's the Buzz Lightyear meme, hot glue everywhere. Okay, let's move all these plastic bags out of the way. Surprising how many little bags we've gone through just for all the parts for this controller. It's like the Frankenstein's controller. So the iron's a temperature. And it is, I always have to remind myself the color order. So it's grey, black, red, black. So we want to start with black on the bottom. I'm going to add a little bit of flex on these just to make my life a bit easier. Because this isn't like fresh solder or anything. Hopefully I can just add a little bit. The less I add, the less we've got to clean. But obviously I want enough to actually do something. I just drip some over them components there. I'll clean that up. Okay, that should be enough. Don't need much. I do need solder though if I'm going to be soldering. That'd help. Where's that? Here you go. Probably some kind of extraction would be good. Let me quickly knock that on. Get this on. My finger a little bit close to that, they almost burnt. That's also one plus side of by wearing gloves. They don't give you amazing protection, but little things though you could catch yourself with, like they will deflect, so it's kind of good. Okay, so tweezers. I don't know what it is with tweezers, but they'll have one doing off, but it probably doesn't have, I've got black tweezers and a black desk. The only place I can kind of see stuff with this contrast is on here. I don't know if you can see on the side here, this is the desk, it's black. I was like, oh, I won't get a white one because it'll go dirty really fast, but black I think shows like marks of dust like absolutely ridiculous. You can see like all this solder here off on the side. Okay. Just have to switch hands to do this. Okay, I'm not happy with it. I'm going to quickly reposition that. That's okay, I guess. I don't know. I feel like there's not enough on there. I mean, if I had some more solder on my tip before doing the next lot, I might have taken some of the solder off that pad when doing it, maybe. I don't know. I see. Now, if you were watching, like whoever was watching yesterday about like the wires being twisted, these ones are more twisted, so that's much better. Use the hot glue today to glue glass pots to get to the glue, 2 glass pots to get from bird. Okay, nice. Yeah, it's a good thing. Like spring is coming and stuff now, isn't it? There's gonna be like lots of birds and stuff around, I assume. This side, okay. So with this one, we're gonna need to solder 1 wire from the outside and 1 from the inside. So this makes it a little bit more difficult. Just because if you do, it doesn't always foul, but it can foul if you do both from the inside. See that grey one? It's more closer to where the trigger would push down. So that one, just on this side, because the position of it is normally from factory done on the outside. That is nowhere near the board. Tab 2 is actually lower down and actually on the board. That's a bit better. So this grey one goes around the other way. So from this side, so I guess we have to swap hands now. I guess you have to be ambidextrous if you want to repair electronics. Be careful not to burn anything, especially the triggers when you're working this close. So that's one side done. Robin Robin is around, they start nesting in March. August they can have chicks. Oh, okay, nice. That's cool then. Yeah, I like robins. They're pretty chill. And they got like a little podgy body and stuff as well. It's cute. They're like little chunky birds. Do I have any isopropyl? Yes, I do. I still need to order some more isopropyl as well, but I remember. Because I go through so much isopropyl. It's just handy for everything. I was using it like for like all sorts before doing like electronics repair, but now I'm doing electronics repair as well. Yeah, I go through even more of it. Normally you buy like a liter at a time for personal use, but I'll probably start buying like a gallon. It's only like what's £2 something, like under £3 if you buy a gallon per litre, as opposed to like £5 to £8 a litre. Yeah, mine's super low as well. I gotta be careful not to spill it now. I don't know if you can see that. This is a litre bottle. This is probably the same one that most people in the UK would be using as well. Not from Hexseal. Doesn't really make much difference though. Like 99% IPA is 99% IPA. That's the good thing about like chemicals and stuff. It doesn't really make a difference if you've got like one brand or another brand. If it's a chemical, if it's a product that's made up of chemicals, obviously that's different because they could have like different ratios and strengths. But if you're just talking like a single compound or something. Okay, so we need black on the bottom. I don't know if there's any like tweezers which are easier for getting flat. Like wires flat and stuff like that. Because I think these are the kind of ones you're meant to use to hold stuff flat on the board. I don't know if it's mainly for like components or if wires or both. Yeah, Amazon is where I got the isopropyl alcohol from. Should probably just say IPA, shouldn't I? Isopropyl alcohol is an absolute mouthful. There also is a thing called isopropanol, which confused me at first when I started using isopropyl. I don't think anybody really uses that one anymore. I'm assuming it's a slightly different, like, if you call it, would you call it like a molecular chain or chemical chain? I'm assuming the structure is probably like slightly different, but very similar. Because I know I used that at like one point a long time ago. Okay, so now we just need the black wire. Both of these on this side can be done from the inside, doesn't make any difference over this side. So we'll do the black one next. I think the hardest part about repair, or at least this console repair, is literally just grabbing these wires and keeping hold of them. Like they're an absolute pissy. Don't know if I just need like a different kind of tweezers, maybe something with like a less pointy tip, but maybe still the shape that has like some kind of like grooves for grips, like these ones have. You can see the grips inside of there. They're kind of like notched little teeth on the inside. But this is just like way too large and not really appropriate. The bent tips on these are much better. Blue tack. You know who you should ask? The best person I think to ask for tweezer advice would just be Zach. It's like, Zach, I need a tweezer to do this very, very specific job. And he'll probably be like, yeah, I have this exact one right here. Like, no, this one, be pull one out. And just be like, yeah, I've got one for that very particular niche use. Yes, all the tweezers. This wire does not want to move or bend here. Can I rotate that? If not, it's just going to have to go on at that angle. So definitely the grey one there. Yeah, it is. Okay. It's a bit confusing because I call them grey. They're technically grey and black striped. Not 100% on the angle of that, but I guess it's okay because it's pointing downwards. That one to me looks a little bit chaotic. I would have liked a bit more twists there to keep the wire a bit neater, but it's nowhere near where the trigger's going to be. Neither is that one. And I think I'm just being overly picky. Lay them flat to get where you want the wire. And then blue tack it. Okay. I like the ones designed for pulling chips for multi-purpose. And those are great. I'll have to look into them. And welcome 8-bit. How are we doing this evening? I'm not too sure if it is evening where you are. I'm not too sure where everybody's from, to be honest. It's most certainly evening where I am. I did say I was only going to stream till like 10 as well. I'll probably end it at like maybe 11. Because I didn't get much sleep last night. It's my own fault for streaming late, and then I had a bunch of stuff I needed to get done. I had to get up early. My brain was just like not functioning or working at all today. So it's just not good. So hopefully I get an adequate amount of sleep tonight. Right, I think that all looks fine. Everything's soldered on. I did not think it was going to take me this much time or effort just to get to this stage of actually putting the actual shell on. I am off to bed soon, trying to get some earlier nights. Yeah, I don't blame you, Squish. Too many late nights is not good. It catches up to you, especially as you get older and stuff as well. When you're younger and stuff, you can get away with it, like you don't need as much sleep. Okay, I think that's all done. I'm hopefully not forgetting anything, because I really don't want to take this controller apart again. I think that's everything. Chuck the back on. The one thing I don't know if this one's going to be the same, the orange one. I literally spent 10 minutes trying to get the back part on. Let me open all of this up first before putting it on. Evening, Forta? Okay, Forta fix. Oh my god, my brain is not working. Yeah, you can definitely tell sleep deprivation. I'm just like looking at words, I'm just like, words? What's that say? Let's pull this open. This is always really sketchy when it's not on a controller. No, I didn't break any clips there, but that one is looking stressed. I don't know if I done that just now. You can see the white bit on there. You cannot see it from there, and I don't think you'll see it once it's in. Oh, I think we are actually missing a bit of plastic there on that one. Or was that from the molding? Did I just break that a bit of plastic? I can't see any plastic here. So maybe that was already on there. Let's have a look at the other side. 3 on the top, 1 there. Yeah, it is missing a plastic clip. That's not good, is it? I don't think I just broke it off though, because I can't see it anyway here. Hopefully not too soon to say hi to Ace and Squish. To include magnet with the camera he sent. He did include a magnet with the camera he sent. Yeah, I'm struggling to read. Let's just pop this one out from the back, from the inside, just to be sure. I don't think I broke that, but I don't know. I can't see one here anyway. But this plastic does stress kind of easy, I think. Let me get like a spudger or something on this. Kind of like nervous now about like breaking some of these clips. Normally I just pull them out. Sorry, I'll just pull it out. Okay, yeah, I was just worrying for nothing. That one looks a little bit stressed on this one, the same one. I don't know if I done that as well. I probably... No, I couldn't see it when he was in the thing. Molding doesn't look great on these See this side here. On this side, maybe that's what was fouling there. Yes, it turns out most scope cameras are the same. They all just do 1080p, 60 FPS. They all claim 204K. Okay, I've never actually like tested them. Is there a way to actually like properly test the output resolution, like on your computer, like what it's receiving or something? I assume. I think this camera currently, the top down view, is outputting at 720, I think, because I went back and changed like the catch-up of the stream. I think it's outputting at 720. It does do 4K at 30, but I don't know if it can only do that while recording to an SD card and not onto the it can only do that onto the SD card and not through. I think I'm on HDMI out at the moment, so I think that might be why I'm getting a reduced quality. But yeah, as I was gonna say earlier, but then I realized I had to take these parts off. With the other controller, like if you'd put together like an OEM case, just both these just pop on nicely straight away and just slot together. I spent like 10 minutes trying to get the orange one on, because I had to like do it from a very specific angle. I had to like put the top in first and then the bottom. Yeah, stream is 720. Okay, that's good to know. I'll have to double check just in case it's like OBS. I'll probably do first is just Google to check what the camera's output is to HDMI before I go look into a bunch of settings on OBS, just in case I've like said something wrong in OBS and I still haven't enabled the thing that Andy mentioned. Okay, well that one just went together perfect. The orange one, literally I couldn't get the top shell on at all. I spent ages. Was it like ultra low latency or latency mode or something like that? Let's make sure no cables are catching, because that doesn't quite feel as perfect as it should. Just double check that's all in properly. The fit on these aftermarket cases, like they fit okay, but okay, now this time, yeah, this is the issue I had with the other one. I was just like trying to do it for ages, so I think I just got lucky that first time. Like for some reason with these particular aftermarket case, I got both from the same seller. It's like JCD or JBC, no, I don't know, it's some letters like that on AliExpress for controller parts. They seem to be really finicky, and you have to have like a very particular angle for it to like go together. You have to make sure there's no cables in the way or anything now, because I know there are some cables which are close, but I don't think that's going to be interfering. That looks slightly bent back there. Let's make sure it's not that. Okay, that's all together now. Depending on your monitor, you should be able to change the resolution on the camera. Then it would renegotiate with the display. I see it doesn't do that despite selecting 4K actually, so it's 1080p. Ah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. So at least you can give one of the cameras to your nephew now. Okay, now we just need the screws to put this together. This is the wrong bit. Completely forgot I need to change to a larger bit for the case. But I guess it could be worse. I've seen some electronics people repair, and there is like a million different like screw lengths and screw types. Can we get that going there straight? There you go. Problem with screwing a screw into something that hasn't taken a screw before. I thought there was scratches all over the top of that then. Is that okay? Oh, I know what I have forgotten though. Luckily I haven't put all the screws in yet, which I think I've forgotten, because I see 3 of them right next to me. Yep. At least I only have to undo 2 screws. Can't believe how many things I forget on this controller today. I'll have to change the bit again. But you let him know we'll have to do a couple days. Okay, we need to undo each other, no problem. Okay, let's quickly pop this front off. Pull these bloody sticks off again. Maybe it was more thoughts than I was just thinking. More thoughts, more steps. My brain does not work well late at night. Okay, we can now pop this in. Make sure it goes this way up. It's definitely not the first time I've done that. And it probably won't be the last time I forget to put that back in. So let's secure this bolt back down now. Make sure that's nice and straight. There you go. Double check they're tight. The screws the thumbsticks back on for the millionth time. Words definitely be hard. Definitely late night streaming is probably not the smartest idea for my brain. To like explain what I'm doing when my I think that's all okay. One of them screws is not in as well as it should be, I'm telling you. No, that is tight though. So is that one. Okay, no, that's fine. Okay, hopefully this is the last time I have to reassemble this controller. Hopefully we haven't forgotten anything or done anything stupid this time. Let's have a look. So he does get these ones and they're struggling to get it on. I think the top has to go in first. And, yeah, and then the bottom. Something is still not quite sitting right there though, I see. This is bent slightly. The battery contact. It was behind the case for a second. Okay, I think that's okay. Let's screw it all together before anything else goes wrong. And change the bit again. I have been looking at some like screwdrivers where you haven't got to change the bit, like sets and precision screwdrivers. Like a set of wear ones, like without a ridiculous amount of screwdrivers. Like I can't remember how it was. They were quite a decent price considering. So I might pick up some of that. I'm not too sure yet. But before I buy any more screwdrivers, because I've got an iFixit kit which works more than fine. I might get Hot Day Station probably, maybe a couple of other things. So I've seen something fold and it's just a mortar in there. There are already minor scratches on this somehow. Marks or something. See like marks above each of these? It's not very good. Ooh, screw just disappeared on me. Let's have a look where that's gone to now. Oh, luckily I've got it. It didn't go too far. It turns out there's two down here. Screw just like duplicated itself. Mama screw, baby screw. No idea where the small one came from. It's just on the floor where this one was. Is this together properly? I think it is. We'll soon find out. That's the thing with these aftermarket cases, I can't quite tell. It looks good though, thank you. I can't quite tell when I'm using the aftermarket stuff if it's me just being stupid or if it's the, you know, the tolerances on the aftermarket stuff. Especially when we're using a whole bunch of aftermarket stuff in this controller. Why I'm trying to put that screw in is beyond me. Okay, there's just 2 more left. For a second I was like, damn, there's something wrong with this controller. The screw's way too small. But no, it's just being an idiot and picking up the wrong screw. And I just done it again. Let me move this one to the side. Keep just picking up the closest screw to me. That one goes there. I don't know. See, to me, that gap there looks a little bit bigger than it should do. And some of the buttons don't quite seem right to me. I don't know, this button here doesn't look like it's out as much as the rest. The rest look fine, but this one here doesn't quite look right to me. Oh, welcome back, JFix. Yeah, it's going okay. We're just modifying this, but I don't know if something is not quite seated right. I think it is, but it just looks slightly off. It's looking pretty cool though, but I definitely think putting some lights and stuff in here would help to be able to see like the internal components and stuff. Kind of cool though. This was a little bit troublesome where I couldn't get the board sitting properly and stuff, but I'm not too sure what's going on. But I can always take it apart again off stream if there is an issue with it and have a look at it. So I will put the rest of the parts on. But I think because it's transparent, I know. Thank you, JFix, about the like in the LED idea. What I was thinking with the LEDs is maybe hiding some carb LEDs between the 2 circuit boards so you physically can't see like the LED, and they'd kind of like then be hidden in there and bounce and diffuse as well, so that it might be more even and rather than just like looking at a bright LED like a bright spot. It's okay. I think there was a clip missing on here. I think it came like that because there's not a transparent bit of plastic anywhere on my desk. So I think maybe it arrived damaged like that. But I think the thing with transparent plastics, I think they are way more brittle than non-transparent plastics, because obviously they've got to be made of a different like chemical compound to achieve the transparency. You can find it in the dark then, yeah, that'd be cool. It looks okay. It's more purpley though, so I don't know if. But obviously the buttons are all blue. If these thumbsticks would have looked better on it, but I guess these thumbsticks wouldn't match the. Shit! I totally didn't just accidentally leave my computer. So we've got purple ones here. And this is technically a blue controller, but for some reason it looks closer to purple than it does blue. Now I have this, I think I know what it is though. I think because it's a green PCB, is the green color is mixing from below in with the blue. It's making it more of a purple color, I think. But now it's on, it looks more transparent purple than blue. Because if you look at the places where the silver is reflecting, it's just going to be reflecting, I guess, like true color or true light. You can see this dark color, but where the PCB is below, it looks more purple. I could just be talking at the rubbish though, but I think maybe that's what it is. Is it an aftermarket shell? Yes, it's an aftermarket shell. It's just from AliExpress as well. G something, JBC, GCI. Finally, look, it'll say on the packaging. If I have a look on the packaging, it's JCD, because I got a bunch of them from the same brand. So I don't know if these purple ones will be better, but obviously then none of the buttons are going to match. So I guess maybe it's nicer that all these match, but it's kind of, I don't like this one as much as I did the orange one. Just because maybe once I put the LEDs in I will, but just because this looks more purpley and these look more blue compared to this. I'll quickly show you the orange one. This one is my favorite. This one is absolutely beautiful. Trying to torch and then see how it will look with some light inside. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I can try the torch in from the back. I'll do that now, 1 second. Yeah, you can see the orange one. This is the orange one. And I think it looks like way nicer than how this one turned out. But maybe once this one has lights in it, maybe this one will look nicer. But yeah, I really like the black, because obviously black is nice. It's not going to get like grubby. It's going to look and stay cleaner longer, because your thumbs are on these and they get really discoloured. You stick the orange under there and it ties in really nice with the buttons. It's just, this is another carbon black that I modified. I didn't swap any of the bumpers or anything over on them. But I'm going to be honest, they feel identical, these bumpers. So that's good to know. Just double check. Maybe slightly different if you go to the very, very edge. I think these ones protrude slightly or something. This ones feel like a little bit strong or sturdy on the very edge, but apart from that, they feel fairly similar and fairly close. There's a very slight difference though. The Tango controller, yeah, it's really nice. I've never seen one that well, and it looks really nice. Like, I need to stop holding these controllers because I was like meant to be like selling them, but look how nice these look together. They just like complement each other so well. This is an official Microsoft controller. This is like the color scheme it comes in. I think this is called Shock Blue, I think. But the orange one is aftermarket. Case and thumbsticks, like the rubber things, and obviously the joysticks as well, the TMR. I'm pretty sure I also put the newest TMR sticks in there, which also happen to color coordinate. They are cyan and orange. So they I like it. You don't sell them. Not currently. I plan to, because that was like the initial reason I started buying like multiple ones, just so I could like repair them and sell them on and get practice learning, you know, PCB repair. But I haven't got around to selling any, just because I don't know, maybe I'm a bit of a hoarder. I've got quite attached to them. I'll probably definitely start selling like some of the robot white ones I've done first, because I have more of them. But at the moment I have like a red one, a blue one, an orange one, a purple one, just like building a collection. But yeah, I do need to like offload them, because that will allow me to buy more controllers, faulty controllers, and repair them. Potentially make more videos and more streams. But most importantly, it's quite enjoyable. And it allows me to learn. But I probably should branch out and maybe try something different. Let me try and find the back cover for this. What have I done with that? It's over here. So I'm not too sure. Like I do like retro consoles. I was eyeing up a I think it was a Game Boy Color. It was like a bright yellow Game Boy, like a Pikachu one, I think, the other day on eBay. I've also been looking like some old consoles, like PlayStation and stuff maybe, but I'm not too sure, to be honest. I do have like a whole bunch of watches that need repairing and restoring and stuff like that. I used to buy job lots of watches back in the day. I repaired all the best ones. I don't know if anybody's into watches. They've literally sat here for about 2 years, my watch collection. Oh, well, some of my watch collection. I have a couple more in the bedroom that I wear more often. I used to really be into like watches and stuff, so I used to repair a lot of them. Not all of these are repaired watches and stuff. A couple here in this one box. This one needs a new screen, but this one is just like a cheap fashion watch. The ones down below, I'd be more like, they're nothing really expensive. Most of them are like Seikos, because that's like my favorite like budget brand. And I think these are all ones I've restored. So obviously it's like a new strap. It's obviously been polished and all that kind of stuff. I have quite a few G-Shocks nice here. G-Shock is an amazing watch. You cannot go wrong with a G-Shock. This is a Casio. You cannot go wrong with a Casio watch. A bunch more Seiko watches. So yeah, there's loads. I think this one's a Citizen. Is this a Citizen? Yeah, this one's a Citizen watch. These two I bought though. This Seconda and this Bulova. It's got a really nice automatic. I think they both automatic. I can't even remember. They probably are. This one definitely is. Can't remember if this one is though, because I think all of these are automatic. This one must be a quartz then. This one's automatic. I bought it because I really like the movement on it. I'll see if I can get this in focus. Yeah, it's got an exposed movement, or partly. Is that called the tourbillon? I can never remember. But yeah, it's a really nice. Do you know I want to do that? I would like to mod one of mine an inverted display. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I'd definitely be down for watching if you ever do any like modifications or any watch stuff. And this is a really nice, good everyday watch. It's this Lotus. Why is this not closing? Oh, because there's a strap there. Let's try and set this flat, nice and carefully. But these are just a couple. I've got lows. Okay, I don't know if I've ever seen my mate Vince do watches, but I don't watch like all of his videos, so obviously he's got years and years of content. And this is the other box. This box is like really nice as well. It's not like a super expensive box, but it's much more fancy than the other one. These are the ones I would wear more often, excluding these two, which are just not these three, which are utter crap. This one is more sentimental. This is a Dolce & Gabbana one. But these were like my favourite ones that I used to wear, that I'd restored. But I've got like a whole bunch of other random ones. I'm not too sure I've got any other Secondas and stuff, or Seikos, or anything like that. But if I have, I might look at repairing some of them, because obviously I'll have to dig out the electroplating and stuff to do that. I've got like a Dremel polish and stuff. I've actually got like a bench grinder and stuff, but I have no idea where I would actually put that if I tried to do something like that. Okay, so you don't get any glow from in the controller from this. Did you notice watching your stream back when you move around fast, gets laggy? Kind of, a very little bit. Yeah, I noticed it way more on the microscope though. If I pull up the microscope, I'm trying to get in focus roughly here. The frame rate doesn't seem the best on the microscope. There's a lot of motion blur there and stuff as well. But I am going to have a potch around with like some settings and stuff. I'm not too sure. It might just be like the limit of what I'm using, but it also could be some settings and stuff maybe. I'm not too sure. I've only just noticed how late it is as well. Let me shine a torch to this like James said, just to see. It's quite difficult to see because the PCB and stuff is in the way. With the lights and stuff. Oh, viewfinder inactive. This bit hasn't popped up for quite a while now. But yeah, it looked kind of cool, but it depends where you put them. It's like lag in rendering, no frame rate. Ah, okay. Do you reckon it could be I'm using really cheap, what they called, HDMI to USB adapters? I think they were like 10 or 12 pound off Amazon. They were literally the cheapest thing I could buy. They're like about the size like a USB pen, or maybe a bit bigger. It's just extruded aluminium. And then like the HDMI goes into one side, it's got like a USB port already attached on the other side. So, also, I have got one bar showing, I just noticed, no OBS. 54 kilobytes per second. Sorry, 6K. It was like 5.4K kilobits per second. And it's showing like one bar, drop frame rate 27%. So do you reckon that's like to do with my my internet speed maybe? It could just be to do with my internet. My internet's not the best. And I'm on wireless here. I'll have a quick look how many bars of like wireless I'm getting. I'm only getting like 3 bars on the wireless as well, to be honest. And sometimes it's like 1 or like not 1, like 2. So it might be that. Maybe if you click view station, we'll see if you get any rendering lag. It's not a network issue. Maybe if you click view and stats. Okay, I need to find what this view and stats is. View, okay, yeah, add to that stats. It is saying CPU usage 8.3%, disk space 93 gig, memory usage 4. The stream will be buffering. Okay, so saying the frame rate is 30, average time to render frame is 1 millisecond or 0.8 milliseconds to 1 millisecond. It keeps changing. Frames missed due to rendering lag, 0. Skip frames due to encoding lag, 0. Drop frames network, 27%. So I don't know if it's just the frames dropping because I like the network, because that's the only thing that everything else is showing, like skipped or missed frames, etc. is 0, but the network is showing 27%, which is quite significant. I don't know if it's that, but it also could be the cheap hardware I'm using. Like the computer's decent enough, just built that, because I did record, and I will edit at some point. It's not the most entertaining video, it's one camera angle, top down generally. I might have 1 or 2 B-roll shots. So it's not the PC hardware. I don't think so, I think it's network, but I'm not 100% just because is 1 millisecond a long time to render the frame? I haven't really got a comparison of what would be considered good. I think it's the camera or the capture card. Yeah, everything's like super janky. It's not like the most ideal camera for doing this. It was just I happen to have this M50. It's a decent enough camera if you're doing like some amateur cinematography or you're doing like some product videos, some stuff like that, which is why I got it. But for this kind of purposes, probably not. But like one of the Sony, is it like a Sony AS account, or Sony something 3, I think is the current one. I always remember, I forget what the letters are for it. But I know that's like one of the most common and popular ones, but I think there are a couple of thousand in there. We'll have a quick look on Sony. Is it the A7 III? Is that the one I was thinking of? Yeah, A7 III, I think that's what I was thinking of. Okay, so they're not like 3K, which I was thinking. The bodies are like 1200, but that's still quite a significant investment. And the capture cards were crazy expensive as well. The one I looked out is, I think, is the same one Joe uses. That's a Elgato Pro 4K or something like that. But I will have to double check all my output settings, my OBS settings, and all of that kind of stuff, because I would like to try to get it. Probably just a capture card. It probably is just a capture card, to be honest, because that is like the cheapest thing that I'm using. Like the camera's not expensive, but it's not cheap. I think it was like 500-600 new, and I think they still go for a bit, because I was looking at getting one for like a second camera to have, so I could shoot from other angles. I can see I'm varying from like 268 to 448 on here. I think that's just a body, yeah, so they're still going close to 500 quid with a lens just for the M50. But I would like extra camera. I might just use a webcam if I ever do face cam, but maybe like a different camera angle for you guys to look at from like the side or closer up, that's not the microscope, could potentially be good, but we'll see what's in the budget, because I would like both the cameras to have similar or same quality, to be honest. So yeah, I probably won't be delving into the other project this evening, just because of how late it's got. But I might, if MD is interested in watching. I don't know if it would be a boring stream though, because it would be mostly just opening the headset. I'll quickly go and grab it. It's like the most ratty headset ever. This is why I thought I would start on this one, because I have 3. 2 of them are in decent condition, the cable to just knock it on, I think. But this one, there's like, I don't know what's happened to it. It looks disgusting. All the things falling apart. So I thought I'd probably start with this one, take it apart, have a look how much room I've got to work with in here, and also have a look how the circuit board works, have a little look at it, look at the microscope, just see if I can like maybe learn anything about like audio circuit boards. And then do a little bit of research then to see, will I be able to get an ESP or maybe one of the Bluetooth modules in this? Because I'd like to try 2 different options to see if one way of doing it is going to be higher quality audio than another way of doing it. Because I don't think the modules you can get from AliExpress that have like the, I think it's called DAC, and the Bluetooth and everything all in one little module, I don't think they're the best quality, to be honest. That's why I want to try that way, and then another way using 2 separate boards. But like, am I gonna have any room in here to fit it? Who knows? So that, I don't know if MD would actually be interested in watching that, but that is what I will be doing next. But I don't know if I'm going to stream it or not, because they'll be taking this apart and maybe just looking at a bunch of web pages basically at like ESP32s and I2S, I think it's called, the boards, or like DAC boards, which I'm not like super familiar with. I've done like a little reading up on some other stuff recently, but a lot to learn. But I literally have like 4 headsets just sitting around doing nothing. 5 including the one I use at my main PC when I'm watching like YouTube and stuff. And I'm literally fed up of the cable on that one. So I'll try with all the ones which are like faulty cables first. And if it all goes well, I'll probably do that one as well. But I'll probably switch and use the Razer headset I got if everything goes well, because it's a really nice high quality headset. It's nice and comfy, good padding. and you need a battery in it. Yeah, I do have a battery here, but it's definitely not going to fit in this headset because I've got this one here. At the time, it was like one of the largest capacity batteries I could get my hands on. I've got this one here, 3,700 milliamp battery. But this was because I wanted to run a microcontroller and LEDs, and I wanted them inside of a picture frame. I don't know if you're familiar with the thick picture frames, shadow boxes. So if, like, imagine this is like a picture frame, you can stick LEDs here, 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 you know, on the bottom and stuff, and then hide this down the bottom. And then you can put like a print then on the front. It's on like some kind of like semi-transparent stuff. I don't know if you're like familiar with like etched window vinyl. You can print onto that, put that onto then the glass, and then illuminate the LEDs inside, and you can have individually addressable LEDs and stuff like that in there. And you could then control them with WLED, the program's called. I think it's like an open source thing. But I'm gonna have to get a much smaller battery than this. Like a battery that's like not far off the size of like one of these. Maybe a little bit bigger to be able to fit in there. In my brother's headset, he had like about a 480 milliamp battery. But I've seen newer headsets with larger ones up to like over 1,000 milliamp. So yeah, we'll have to, milliamp hour, sorry, not milliamp, because that's just like how much current, isn't it, rather than the capacity. You could reuse a battery from rechargeable, maybe I could do. I don't know where to get any of them from because I don't like use them. But I have seen some interesting videos on YouTube where people are reusing old vape batteries, and that's something I would like super be interested in doing. But lithium batteries can be super sketchy to deal with. I was looking at doing some battery stuff before. I was looking at getting one of them spot welders for, is it the little zinc strips I think they're made of, which is soldered to like bunch the batteries together. But yeah, I'm not too sure. I might just pick up a little battery on Amazon, unless I can get my hands on some old vape batteries or something like that. Because I've got a bunch of BMS boards anyway, and a bunch of other stuff that I can, even though I think most of them, do they have BMS built onto them? Because I know sometimes they come standard as the battery, even though they might be from a disposable vape that's technically not rechargeable. The battery might already have a BMS on it because it might be cheaper for people making it to buy the batteries with the BMS already on, just because they're so widely mass produced. But I'm not too sure. But if not, I do have BMS, little BMS chips here. They're like about that big or something. I think they've got like a USB charging thing on there and stuff. I'll have to dig out some of the little things I've got. But that'll probably be a video for another stream, because I still have to eat dinner and stuff before I go to sleep. So it's been a good stream, everybody. I appreciate everybody who's joined us. Hopefully you guys tune in maybe next time when I'm streaming. So to everybody, have a good night or a good day depending on where you're from. Take care. I'd have a go at microcontroller. I know with battery power paper displays. Yeah, I was looking at some of the paper displays and some of the new e-ink color displays, but the new color e-ink displays are crazy expensive. Well, we can discuss that in another stream. It's nice to see somebody else's interest in some of these little side projects. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind and see what ideas I can come up with. Take it easy, guys. Thank you for tuning in.